Another message for Senator Daniel Akaka. I've had people tell me, Howard, you can't do that. Senator Akaka's too powerful. You'll anger him. I said, so what? He's angry already. There's something bothering the man. And I don't care any longer. We'll all be dead before the bill gets out of committee. He's been in there, 20 years or so? He's got a solid following and a solid backing. So do you think we're going to benefit if I'm nice and play footsie with the good senator? Do you think I should go and hold hands with him and tell him I love him and kiss him on the cheek? No. Answer me a question, dear Senator. Where would Hawaii be today if it wasn't for the Merchant Marine? Where? They've kept your state supplied for years. They kept it supplied. They kept the ships running and delivering the merchandise that was necessary all during World War II. Whether that ship was loaded with ammunition, gasoline, or food, they delivered it. Did you or anyone in Hawaii ever say, oh, we owe them a thank you, some gratitude? No. We never got a bit of it. But I'll tell you, your state owes their very existence to the Merchant Marine, not only during the war, but today as well. Now, I mentioned before that when the war started, for the several months, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, merchant ships were unarmed, but they were manned and they sailed. Yes, they sailed. 70 men died before Pearl Harbor. 70 merchant seamen. Others were wounded. American ships were sunk. But even though we were entering war zones, American ships could not be armed because there was a U.S. Neutrality Act passed by men like yourself, congressmen, great foresighted congressmen, senators, and representatives. Oh, yeah, such brilliant people. I have the greatest admiration in the world for them. Think again. But I wonder, why, Senator Akaka, do you take it out on the Merchant Marine? What's behind it all? Tell me. The merchant seamen, again, they delivered. How old were they? Some were as young as 16, 17, but most of them were 18, 19, 20, but also older men. I sailed with men as old as 70. And I know, because I was the purser on the ship and I kept track, I kept the records. I know the ages. Our captain was 56. Our second mate, Johnny Olson, on one trip was 61. Our cook on another trip was 71. And we had seamen of all faiths, of all colors, from all nations. Egyptians, men from Honduras, men from Jamaica, men from Cuba, men from England, men from Ireland. Yes, they sailed with us. Norwegians, too, who were fighting because their nation had been taken over by the Nazis. And in the Pacific, what happened? We faced Japanese submarines, which most people don't realize were larger than the German submarines. They had greater range. They carried more torpedoes, more ammunition. And they ranged as far as the Indian Ocean and sank ships over in that area. But the men of the Merchant Marine, they delivered. Now they're in their 80s and 90s. I led a meeting the other day. 15 men were there. Several of them members of the Navy gun crews in those days. The rest were merchant seamen. The youngest was 83. The oldest was 94. But they don't get anything from the U.S. government. Well, you might say we got some benefits in 85. I finally applied for my veterans. Went to the Veterans Hospital for the first time in my life. Some congressmen had a conscience back in 85, but the ones today, some don't have a conscience. Thanks.